Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are you doing? Excuse the drilling and the banging in the background. My neighbours are still building. There's going to be another 2 months of this apparently, so just a heads up. Hopefully it won't be too distracting for you guys though. But yes, today we're doing our weekly kind of energy read to see what's happening for us this week ahead. We have 3 piles as usual. We have pile number 1, which is Aqua, Experience Peace and Calm. Number 33, and then we have, I'm going to butcher this, is it cyan? The colour cyan? I think it's the colour cyan. I don't know if it's cyan. I'm not even going to embarrass myself and say the other one that I was going to say because it's just typical London, you know. Build Your Confidence, number 35. And then we have my favourite card of the deck. I have a fascination with naked trees, just saying. We have black, Find Richness in the Dark. Sorry, let me say that I got too interested in the image. Find richness from the dark night. God, get my teeth in. Getting distracted. And that's 28. Another favourite number of mine. So, take a moment, feel the vibes, what you're drawn to, and then we're going to get stuck in. This deck, for people who have been asking on my Instagram, is the, God, I can't remember, hold on. It is The Secret Language of Colour Cards by Ina Segal. You just saw that. I like to use these cards a lot when I'm doing like my own kind of like chakra work, but I just, colours, they give off energy, they give off vibes, they give off messages, so it is what it is. Anyway, pick a pile and let's get started, and I'm going to stop rambling. So let's get straight into a pile number 1 and let's see what's coming through for you guys. Pile number 1, I instantly pick up that this week ahead might be a very emotional, overwhelming, might even be a few storms brewing for you guys this week. And you're being asked to be grounded, to increase meditation, or if you don't meditate, to maybe just find 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day to meditate, find peace, whatever brings you peace. Meditation doesn't have to be sitting cross-legged, umming and ahhing. It could be through art, reading, dance, meditation, cooking, whatever brings you peace. Is classed as meditation. Something that can still the mind, you know. I also feel that it can be a very, because it is emotionally charged for you guys this week, I feel like it's going to be very cleansing too. So don't get into the pattern of feeling, you know, like sometimes when you're upset or you give into your emotions and stuff, you can see emotions as being not weak, but you know, people don't see those kind of things. Sorry, my chest is just like, it keeps, I don't know what's going on, it's like I keep having to stop talking for a second. Maybe there's a lot of stuff that you guys want to say but won't say because you know it's just going to like kick up a storm and there's just going to be shit flying all over the place and whatever else. Maybe your throat at the moment is very active in a sense of trying to clear. Maybe you're constantly clearing your throat at the moment. Maybe you've got a cough. Maybe you've got neck aches, anything around the throat that can indicate clearing, because we hold a lot of suppressed emotion and anger and stuff in our throat. So I wouldn't be surprised that pole number 1, if you don't have a lot of throat issues this week. I'm not taking that. Yeah, the cleansing that comes with this emotionally charged week, believe it or not, is a good thing. Very much needed. So if you need to cry, cry. If you need to switch up your diet and you need to go on a water cleanse, before I say anything like that, let me just, you know, if you are going to go on a fast or a water cleanse, or you're going to switch up your diet, first make sure that you check in with your doctors and make sure that your health is okay to do these things, because fasting and stuff can be very powerful. So you want to make sure that you're in a good place to be able to do these things. But yes, this week is definitely a week for pole number 1. If it's rainy where you are, it might be good to get out in the rain and cleanse like that. If you're near water, it could be good to get out into the sea or a lake or a swimming pool, whatever. I mean, swimming pool, I guess swimming pools are not so great when you've got chlorine and whatever else is put in those pools to keep it clean. But natural water, it could be up your hygiene, up your showering, up your bathing. Maybe it's about setting intentional baths, and what else? Increasing water, your water intake. Because I feel like this week for you guys, it's going to be very emotional. There's going to be probably a lot of tears. And you want to be hydrated, because the last thing you want to add to the pile is dehydration. Let's see what else is happening for pile number 1. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh. Pile number 1 this week is definitely an emotional week. The only downside with this new thing that my mum knitted me, is the wool, when I'm shuffling and stuff, gets caught. Anyway, sorry, totally sidetracked. What the fuck just happened? Anyway, yeah, you guys this week, definitely, it might not seem like it at the beginning of the week, but trust the process this week, guys. Trust the process. I feel like when it comes to your relationships and your connections with people, it could be a bit of a mad one this week. You might not be seeing eye to eye. Maybe with this moon energy here, maybe someone comes forward and tells you how they really feel. Maybe they're not happy about something. Maybe there's like build up in the relationship that needs to be released. Maybe you're the one that has something to say. Maybe you're not happy in your relationships with people. And you're finally getting to a point where you might just have to say something. Well, you are going to say something. You are, because you can't keep sitting on things. You know, you've got boundaries, you've got standards, and those standards need to be met. I feel like there's a lot of stubbornness here with this world energy, because the 4 signs are the fixed signs, right? So that's very stubborn type energy. So I feel like there could be a lot of stubbornness in your relationships at the moment. But again, I want to say, like, this might be a very touch and go kind of week when it comes to your relationships with people. But I will say that it may seem like scary at first, but it will only make your connection stronger. And if someone takes what you're saying and it pisses them off and they leave and the friendship is done, then that's just not your people. You should be able, with your tribe and your people and your relationships with people, you should be able to have difficult conversations with people and still feel safe and loved and connected. That doesn't mean that you have to put up with people's bullshit, but you should at least be able in genuine connections with people, have difficult conversations and know that you're in a safe space to have those conversations. So if you're having those conversations and you're bringing yourself to the table and you're expressing yourself and you can clearly see that it's emotionally affecting you, and these people that you're in relationships with, whoever it might be, take it how they take it and they chuck in the towel and it's done, then bye. That's not your people. Maybe you're the one that wants to chuck the towel in, you know, like there has to be boundaries. And sometimes when people keep pushing those boundaries, you have to reinforce them, which means sometimes you have to walk away from situations and people. Doesn't mean that you don't love them, doesn't mean anything else, you know, like you can still love people. You don't necessarily have to be around people, you know, to love them. You can love people from a distance. If it means that your health and, you know, you're suffering because of it, then by all means put yourself first and don't feel any way about it. But to be honest, I feel like the people that you are going to be talking to and stuff, especially when I look at like this card here, I definitely feel that this is like your tribe. This is your people. So I wouldn't feel like there's too much to worry about. I feel like, you know, like the flow of it might be really intense, and maybe you do have a really heated argument or discussion about something, but it will only bring you closer, because when it's your people and your tribe, and you know, like that's all it can do, is bring you closer. There's a say. I always butcher sayings. It's so annoying. But I saw a quote the other day, and it said something like, "Oh God, it's totally gone out of my head. I'm really going to butcher this one. I'm not even. If it comes back and I can get it clear, then I'll say it. Otherwise, it's just not going to make sense. Otherwise, the only people that get pissed off by your boundaries are people that like treading all over them, basically, is what I'm trying to say, you know? So if people love treading all over your boundaries and making you feel some type of way and makes you feel anxious and on edge and stuff, then is that even your people? Because who would do that to you if they love you? Who takes pleasure in making people feel on edge and making them feel anxious? That's kind of cruel. That's a cruel thing to do to someone, especially like if you're meant to, you know, that's your people. Like, pff, your tribe won't do that to you, trust me. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is saying to you as well, just stay like grounded in yourself and your truth. Because this week is going to be very emotional. It is going to be kind of all over the place. There are going to be storms and hurricanes and tsunamis and stuff that are going to like do their best to kind of like rock you and, you know, whatever else. But I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is saying just stay grounded in who you are. Stay grounded in your truth. Say what is true to you and put yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, then like, if there's no you, then there can't be anything else. You can't give from an empty cup. And people think putting yourself first is selfish, but you've got to be selfish. And people that usually call you selfish are people that usually love to just keep taking and taking and taking from you anyway. So they need to take a seat. Because if you don't put yourself first and you don't be selfish, then how are you even going to give anything to anyone else? If you can't even give to yourself, how are you going to give to anybody else? You've got to be selfish. Selfish is not a negative term. And it annoys me when people use it as such. Definitely picking up on the the stubborn energy. Definitely feeling the stubborn energy. I feel like you're two very fixed and powerful, strong-minded people. It can be more than two people, by the way. I'm just using this as an example. I love how the neighbours are banging, though. Yeah, so there could be a lot of friction, and the stubbornness could, you know, blow things up but you know, I feel like it's that thing that kind of, you know, the tension, and then once the tension gets addressed, it kind of just releases and things just go back to normal, if not better. So pole number 1, I'm going to kind of wrap it up a bit before I keep banging on about the same thing. This week is definitely an emotional one for you guys. It's definitely going to be a very stormy kind of week. The energy is asking you to really speak your truth, stay in your power. It's asking you to meditate, find time to find that stillness and calmness within yourself, and not to react from an emotional triggered place, but to be, if you are going to have these deep conversations with people, or if you are going to come from anywhere, come from a place of calmness and absolute, and, you know, just in your power. Cards number 1, pole number 1. Let me know if that resonates in the comment section below, and I will see you in my next video. Let's see what's happening for pole number 2. Pole number 2, we have Cyan. I hope that's the right way of saying it, because my like to create my own words was about to say some other stuff earlier. So pole number 2, this week ahead is definitely about building your confidence, as it clearly says, right? But when you look at this colour, right, look at how intense it is, right? Don't be afraid. Like, just focus on this colour for a second. You're telling me that ain't blowing your mind. You're telling me that ain't giving you vibes. Listen, I feel like pole number 2, you're my intense kind of people. You don't do things by halves, you do things in full. Some people can't take it. That's not your problem. Be confident in the fact that you're intense. It's good to be intense. What's the point in doing things half-heartedly? Just saying, pole number 2. Have confidence. Like, don't let people tell you that you're too much. Don't let people tell you that you're too this, you're too that, you're too whatever. Fuck those people. Be intense anyway. Build your confidence, build your voice. This is blue, right? This is like your throat. This is like that, you know, like I can feel the suppression, the tightness, the closing. Like, speak, sing, be heard. This week ahead, focus on just, even, you know, like that quote, even if your voice, say it even if your voice shakes. Find the confidence in, I'm not taking those 2, sorry. Take confidence in yourself, what you have to say, what you need to deliver. Be intense. You might not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's perfect. Yeah, see? I love it when cards just rock up and they're just like, yeah, see? This is that big dick energy card. Yeah, no gender specifics. The Ace of Wands, to me, is always that big dick energy. I think that's just standard for the Ace of Wands anyway. But, yeah, it's like, yeah, and I'm here, and too much, cool. If I'm too much, then go settle for less. You know, like that. Bloody hell. And we have the Empress. That's what I'm saying. Sitting. Oh, well, we've got, do you know, this is double Empress energy. I'm sorry, I have to point this out. These 2 cards to me are basically the same. I'm just saying. This is like mother energy. This is like, yeah. This is like, have really the message, have confidence in yourself. I'm sure people will have an issue with your intensity, right? I can see that, and it makes you feel anxious, and it probably makes you question your self-worth. Excuse the banging. It probably makes you question your self-worth. But listen, it's better to be this Empress energy than to be like everybody else. Who wants to be like everybody else? Stand out. You were born to stand out. You were born to be intense. You were born to be too much. You were born to be fucking fabulous. Be kinder to yourself. Own the fact that you're intense. Take back your power. Sit on your throne. Notice that your intensity is what makes shit happen. You think these two people here done things by half? You really think that this energy, this Empress energy, came in and half-heartedly managed to build and create what they created? No, the fuck they didn't. They put blood, sweat, tears, everything into what they were doing to create what they needed to create. They don't do things by halves. They do things in full. Be proud of that. Take pride in yourself. Take pride in the way you present yourself. Take pride in the way that you create things. Take pride in the fact that you're different from everybody else. I feel like this week is going to be really about breaking down those patterns, you know, like, you know, when you do, I can see this. I'm going to try and explain it. I can see this person, this bouncing energy that goes out into the world and is constantly somehow rejected or pushed back, and is like, you then turn into like this Nine of Swords, and you start making yourself small, and you start putting yourself into these little boxes that everybody else wants to put you in. Well, I'm just going to rock up here as a Leo and say I'm about to seriously like rip open some of these boxes and set you free, because we're not doing that. We're not going to keep putting ourselves in these boxes. And the fact that you can feel this Nine of Swords energy tells me that you're just a genuine, good-ass fucking person. You are exactly what the world needs. The fact that you can feel this, and it, you know, like, there's confidence, and then there's like, I don't even want to say arrogance, because even arrogance sometimes can be a good thing, right? Like, to be really self-assured and stuff like that. But there's, I don't know what the other word is, maybe even fucking narcissism, I don't know. But if you look at a narcissist, right, they will never have this, they will never feel this, because they can't. So the fact that you can feel this and be open, and your heart feels what it feels every time someone tells you that you're too this and you're too that, tells me that you're just a genuine ass person. And I'd rather be friends with you than with someone that's going to tell you that you're too much. My friend sometimes likes to calls me an enabler, because I am. Be yourself. Show up as you are. Be intense. Do what you need to do. As long as you're not hurting anybody or hurting yourself, where's the fucking problem? You got big dick energy. People are going to be intimidated by that. People are going to try and, just no. Be kinder to yourself as well, because I know what it's like to be intense. I know those conversations that you have with yourself, that constant self-doubt, that constant putting yourself down because you believe that you are too much. And being too much is a fucking blessing in a world full of fucking fakery and bullshit. So don't let what these other people are telling you affect you to the point where, like, you're doubting yourself. It's good to be open and to hear what people have to say, but don't take other people's projections and fucking issues as your own. Because that doesn't belong to you, that belongs to them. That's their problem, that's not yours. This week might be as simple as just saying what you need to say, even if your voice does shake. Finding little things to build your confidence. Owning who the fuck you are and the fact that you're intense. Intense is fucking beautiful. Who wants dull? Who wants, Do you know what I'm saying? Find ways this week to help you build that for yourself. Build the confidence in yourself. Build trust back in yourself. Build back your intuition. Step into your power and own the fact that, like, you just fucking radiate. Your natural energy just radiates, like you don't even have to force it. It just is. Of course, people are going to have issues with the fact that you're just fucking amazing. Again, though, that's not your problem. That's theirs. I'm just going to clear this up for a second, and I'm just going to let you look at this colour and understand. Just, right? Like when you look at it and you really deep it and you really like pay attention, if that colour don't vibrate in your soul, I don't know what else to tell you. That's a powerful ass colour. That's all I'm saying. So pile number 2, let me know if that resonated for you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Let's see what's happening for pile number 3. Pile number 3, we have black. Find richness. I butchered this last time. Let me focus on what I'm saying. Black. Find richness from the dark night. I was just going to go off and say my own thing again. I do this a lot. I have my own vocabulary, and when I read things, sometimes I just read whatever I want to say or what comes to mind instead of what's actually written. I love this card because I am obsessed with naked trees. Like, that image to me is just perfection. Pile number 3, this week ahead, obviously looks like it's going to be quite a dark one for you. I feel like you're going to be dealing with a lot of old patterns, old self-belief systems. Excuse me. But I want to point something out, right? With this tree energy, like this pattern, this place that we can go, and trust me, I know we can get dark when we want to get dark, right? But in that darkness, like, you are this tree. Like, you can't be uprooted. Well, you can't be anymore, let's just say that. Maybe in the past you might have been able to, you know, the roots, you know, like sometimes when the roots show like it's sensitive, vulnerable. But I feel like everything that you've been through, especially recently, like has just buried those roots even deeper. So revisiting what you're revisiting, when it comes to like old belief systems or old patterns or old thought processes and stuff, it's going to be deep, but it's not going to affect you in the way that it once was, like in the way that it once did. It can't. Because you're so much more rooted in yourself that you can't. It just can't. And like it says, you know, find richness in the dark. I'm going to butcher it again. Find richness from the dark night. And I was saying previously, I don't know where or when or what video it was in, that a lot of our power sits in that dark, you know, because that dark stuff is the stuff that we hide because it doesn't fit into the norm. It's not about being normal anymore. It's about bringing those shadow parts of yourself and bringing them forward and bringing them to the world. Bringing that power that you have to the world. And the Queen of Cups is literally telling me, tell them to be nice to themselves, tell them to love themselves, tell them not to, you know, self-care, compassion for yourself. Be gentle with yourself. This isn't a time, you know, like when you revisit certain things, like you can rip yourself to shit. This isn't a time for ripping ourselves to shit. This is a time for self-care. This is a time for self-acknowledgement. This is a time for self-growth. This is a time for releasing. Yeah, the past is definitely revisiting in the form of emotional, I want to say trauma. It could be emotional traumas from the past that are coming back up, but just like any emotional pattern that would knock you off your feet and stop you from proceeding before, it feels like it's gonna come up this week, because the relationship with yourself right now is really being fucking tested. Your belief system about yourself is really being tested. Your belief system with anything right now is being tested, but mainly with yourself. I feel like the page of swords is trying to get your attention, like there's a freedom around this page of swords that's trying to bring you out, to say, come on, like let's do something different. Let's put this behind us, and let's approach things differently now. We can't keep serving the same pattern, because the same pattern is getting us nowhere. Once it served us and it got us to where we needed to be, but now like it's stopped. Like now we need to find a new way to move forward. We need to bring that information forward. What's the point in having all this information and not getting rid of it? You're just a library that never gets used. The whole point in having this knowledge and this information is to share it. You're not meant to contain it and never speak on it. The whole point in that you get this information and you're receiving information and you learn what you learn is to share it with other people and to the world and whatever else. And I feel like once you start like opening that book and you start sharing that information and you start, it's like a novel, you know, like when you get so engrossed in the storyline and stuff, like you bring it to life, right? When you're reading a book and you're really reading it, like you can bring it to life. And I feel like that's kind of like the essence of what's around you at the moment, is bringing something to life. Bringing yourself back to life. It's like the Page of Swords is saying, do you know what? Yeah, like in the past, like these things would have knocked me off my feet. But now I'm the Page of Swords. Like now I know better. Now I can handle this stuff. Now I'm ready. You're not using that sword to hurt yourself anymore. You're using that sword not even for battles. You're not even battling anything anymore. You're using it to make a point. Like it's I don't know how to say what I want to say. You're not using it to hurt yourself. You're not using it to hurt others. You're not using it for anything other than truth. And like, I wish I could find a word or be able to translate what I want to translate right now. It's so frustrating. My camera cut off. Yay. Yeah, I can't think of what I want to say, but this whole process that you go through now is so different. It's not self-harm. It's not harming others. It's not... It literally feels like, you know, like when you're clearing a path, or like, you know, you're gardening and you're clearing away the weeds and you're making the pathway clear and stuff. That's I feel like that's what you're just using the sword for now. It's not going to be used for anything other than just to clear the way. So when this past energy comes up, you know, if it is a family member or a friend or something that triggers something in you, and they say something, and, you know, maybe growing up it would have triggered you and you would have lashed out at yourself or lashed out at them or whatever, your approach to a lot of stuff right now is different. Sure, it will probably trigger you and you'll have to stop and kind of go, oh shit, I feel a little bit triggered, like what's happening? but the approach isn't self-sabotage anymore. It's so different. It's so different. It cannot uproot you anymore. It cannot affect you in the way that it once did. I feel like when these things come up, it's not confirming what you used to feel about yourself. It's letting you know that, shit, I've changed. Like, I'm not perfect, but in not being perfect, I'm the most beautiful thing that ever fucking existed. Because perfection doesn't exist, and I'm okay with not being perfect. I'm okay with not being everybody's cup of tea. I'm okay with I'm okay with sitting in the dark. I'm okay with sitting in the light. I really love this card. I just want to put it up here because I just love looking at it. So anyway, moving on. Like a lot of, I'm going to say it again, a lot of our power comes from these places. And the reason we experience what we experience is to trigger these things within us so that we can heal them, so that we can see the beauty in who the fuck we are. And words just sometimes aren't big enough. So is this week going to trigger you? Yeah, the fuck it is. It probably is going to trigger you, but it's not gonna have that same level of impact. The impact isn't there no more. If anything, all this stuff that's going to come up this week for you, all it's going to do is help you clear the path. All it's going to do is it's going to get you in the garden, and it's going to get you cutting back them weeds. It's going to get you, like maintaining your own garden. It's going to get you like looking after your shit, watering yourself, making your own fucking garden look great. And by garden, I'm talking about you and yourself and everything in your life and blah de blah, whatever else. That's just, an example I was trying to use. So pole number 3 this week definitely feels like a trigger kind of week. But the triggers just ain't going to hit no more. They're not going to hit you like they used to. Everything has changed. Everything has changed for you guys. The past is going to return, whether it's a person, whether it's old emotional patterns or traumas that are going to come up for you this week. They are going to come up, but it's not going to hit you. It's not going to hit you. It's not even going to touch the root. It's just not going to affect you the way that it once did. Because you understand yourself now, like you understand that where there's light, there is dark, and we all have a shadow self, and there's nothing wrong with our shadow selves. There's nothing wrong with that. That is the power. That is our power source. And I feel as well that when these things do come up, because they are going to come up, they are, right? Like, not only is the approach different, like it actually feels like I feel like it might just be someone saying something and you're just kind of like, oh fuck, okay. But it doesn't create a black cloud over your head. If anything, it just helps you clear the fog even more. Does that make sense? Like there's an element of like freedom that comes with revisiting whatever comes up for you this week. Like you'll realise that, hold on a second, that don't affect me no more. And in that, and in knowing that that thing doesn't have its clutch on you anymore, and it doesn't control you or have any kind of effect on you, it's just freedom in itself. So pole number 3, I'm going to leave it there for you guys. Let me know if that resonates in the section, comment section below. This week feels like it's going to be a kind of mad week, not going to lie. Another mad week, yay. Let me know if it resonates with you guys in the comment section below, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.